So welcome guys back to another video in the channel. We are doing another video of Premier League predictions, and today we are at match day 11 now of the Premier League. And as always, if you haven't signed up to my FPL Fantasy League yet, please do so. Link is in the description box down below, and on the screen right now you can see the winners and the leaders or the losers of the previous match weeks and the weeks before. And make sure to join. We've got over 60-70 people now, so that is very good. So now let's get straight into the predictions. We are doing one less predictions because Aston Villa versus Newcastle United has now been postponed. So we are going to get straight into the first one in Saturday morning, which is the 12:30 kickoff, Burnley versus Everton. Now both teams again having very contrasting form. Obviously Everton, doing all right for themselves, sitting in 8th, 16 points out of 10 games, but Burnley on the other hand is looking very bleak for them this season. 9 games played, 5 points. Yes, they do have the game in hand, but right now for Sean Dyche, it looks like a very hard job for them, and it will take a miracle for them to get out of it. But obviously in their last game they lost 5-0 to Manchester City, so it doesn't get much more worse than that. But for Everton, they didn't have the greatest results either. They lost 1-0 at the hands of Leeds United. Rafinha getting his first goal for Leeds in a tight win for Leeds in that one. But again, Everton will be looking to bounce back, and in this game against Burnley, I think they will do so. And obviously Burnley, they will be playing Arsenal the week after, so it doesn't get easier, even though Arsenal's probably easier than Everton, but you know what I mean. And I'm going to give Everton a win here. I'm going to give them an easy 2-0 win in this one. The next one I think is quite straightforward as well. It's Manchester City versus Fulham. Now again, Man City, as I said, 5-0 victors over Burnley in that last game. Just having a quick look at the scorers in that such a huge encounter. Riyad Mahrez scoring a penalty 6:22 minutes and in the 69th minute, and Benjamin Mendy and Ferran Torres also getting on the score sheet in a huge win over Burnley. But looking at the team now playing, obviously Fulham, they did actually get a shock win on the Monday night against Leicester City, 2-1 victors, actually scoring a penalty with Ademola Lookman and then Ivan Cavallero scoring from the spot before Harvey Barnes got a consolation for Leicester. But it was too little too late, as Fulham did hold on and get the win in that tight game. But I do expect Manchester City to easily win this game. Again, I don't expect this to be much of a challenge for them, so I will give Manchester City a 4-0 win in this one. I do think Fulham, they will be confident going into this one, but still it's Manchester City. When Manchester City are free flowing, there's no stopping them. And I think Fulham, they're in a lot of trouble right now. Man City aren't doing great either, only 15 points off 9 games, sitting in 11th. But obviously Fulham, they got the win over Leicester, so that puts them in 17th, one point above the drop above West Brom. So again, it's going to be a tight relegation battle, but I will give Man City the win. Next one is West Ham versus Manchester United. Now Manchester United in the last one, they got very lucky at the hands of Southampton, because they had to come from 2-0 down to actually win the game 3-2. Jan Benderak, James Ward-Prowse opened the scoring before half time, before Mason Greenwood came off for Edinson Cavani, and that's where it all changed for them, as he scored 2 goals and Bruno Fernandes got one as an assist from Edinson Cavani. So it was a super sub moment for him, and one he'll be very much proud of. But for West Ham, they got a 2-1 win over Aston Villa, and a shock win for them. In that game, Angela Ogbonna got onto the score sheet in the 2nd minute before Jack Grealish equalised. Then Jared Bowen scored in the 46th minute, and West Ham managed to hold off Aston Villa for the rest of the game to win that one quite comfortably. West Ham again doing okay, sitting in 5th actually in the Europa League position, 17 points off 10 games, so they have a pretty good start to the season so far. United, after a very poor start to the season, are doing quite well for themselves as well, sitting in 9th, 16 points and only 2 points from 4th. So again, United, they're doing alright. They haven't got many problems, but again, they look like they're on the way up, and Solskjaer for now looks like he's holding on to his job. For this one, I will give a draw. I think United aren't very consistent at the moment, and I think problems will happen for them, so I will give United and West Ham a 2-2 draw in this one. Next game in the Premier League is Chelsea versus Leeds United. Now, as I said, with Leeds, they did manage to get a 1-0 win over Everton. Obviously in the week before, they should have got the win against Arsenal, but didn't. But again, Leeds will take that with a lot of confidence, as they do sit with 14 points, sitting in 12th with 10 games played. So moving into this game, Leeds United will be confident, as I said, but again, it's Chelsea, and they've got such a free-flowing team at the moment, and and they've got 19 points off 10 games, 2 points off top of the league. And again, Chelsea will be going for that title this season, and to make sure, they have to be winning these games against Leeds United. So I won't be surprised if Chelsea do go for the kill, but I think that would leave them, vulnerable in the counter-attack, because I still do think Chelsea do have quite a weak defence. I think that's where Leeds United can really catch Chelsea out in that respect. But again, that would be a huge job for the likes of Thiago Silva to lead that defence in the right way, so they don't concede a lot of shots, so they don't score many goals. But again, I can't see Chelsea keeping a clean sheet, because they're not that kind of team. But again, I do expect there to be a Chelsea win, so I will give Chelsea a 3-1 win in this one. The next game in the Sunday kickoffs in 12 o'clock, the early one, is West Brom versus Crystal Palace. Now we are going to look at West Brom first of all, and in the last game they got a tight 1-0 win over Sheffield United. I said that was a relegation scrap, but it could prove dividends, because Sheffield United 1 point off 10 games. It's looking bleak. Chris Wilder needs to turn things around quickly after a European chase last season. But West Brom at the moment, 6 points, only 1 point off Fulham, but they are still in the relegation zone. Still isn't great, but it's going all right. For Crystal Palace, 13 points off 10 games, sitting in 15th, only in 15th, not 14th, because of goal differential from Arsenal. But again, Crystal Palace, I do think they will probably win this one. They've got a lot of quality going forward. It's not the most consistent, and looking at the last game they lose 2-0 against Newcastle. So again, inconsistencies are still there for Crystal Palace, but I do think they can nick this one, and I will give them a 2-1 win in this one. Next game in the Premier League is Sheffield United versus Leicester City. Now obviously with Sheffield United, we've already talked about their 1-0 loss against West Brom, but Leicester City on the other hand, I thought they would have an easy game against Fulham, to be honest, and they lost somehow. So even Leicester City can be very inconsistent at times, but again, they have a very good squad. And again, with Sheffield United, they're doing so poor this season, there's no way I could give Leicester some sort of win in this Sheffield United some sort of win in this one. Leicester will be looking to bounce back. Brendan Rodgers will want Leicester to bounce back in this game, and they will see this one as a crucial one, but I will give Leicester a pretty comfortable win here. And for Leicester City, I will give them a 4-1 win in this one. I do for some reason think they'll concede, even though Sheffield United haven't been scoring a lot of goals. But moving into the next game on that Sunday, 4:30 kickoff, a huge game in the Premier League. It always is, but with no fans it's going to be a bit more weirder, and it is Tottenham versus Arsenal in the Premier League. Tottenham versus Arsenal, obviously in the last one, Chelsea versus Spurs, obviously it was a 0-0 draw. Arsenal on the other hand, looking bleak, isn't it? I will do a proper preview to this game. After Arsenal and Tottenham have played in the Europa League on Thursday, so that preview should be coming out on Friday, so make sure to look out for that. But Arsenal did lose 2-1 to Wolves, obviously Raul Jimenez with that bad injury. But for Arsenal, sitting 14th, not looking good. But for Spurs, they're sitting first in top of the Premier League, and Jose Mourinho will really want to win this game against Arsenal. Obviously did do them over in the home game post-lockdown period, beat them. Tottenham actually won 2-1 in that game. Arsenal did go ahead, but a few mistakes from Sead Kolasinac, and that really cost us the game. But hopefully Arteta can do a masterclass, as they always say. But you'll find more about this game in the preview, including predicted lineups. So moving on to the last game of the Sunday, Liverpool versus Wolves. Diego Jota hosting Wolves at their own ground, and I think this is going to be quite an intriguing and interesting game, as Wolves did obviously beat Arsenal to get up to 7th in the Premier League with 17 points out of 10 games. And Liverpool, they're sitting second, same points as Tottenham, but only on goal differential they're sitting second. So they really want to win this one, try and cement their place as a team that is going to go for the title this season. Yes, they've got a lot of injuries, but they're still a very good side with a lot of quality, especially going forward still in the attacking areas. With Diego Jota coming in, it's going to be very hard for Wolves. Obviously Nuno Espirito Santo will know a lot about Jota as it is, so you'll try and nullify him, but at the moment in the form he's in, it'll be hard to do so. But Liverpool, for them, I think they'll win this game. It won't be comfortable, but I think they will win it. But I'm going to go for quite an exciting 3-2 win for Liverpool. The last game is Brighton versus Southampton. Now, as I said, Southampton, I thought they got very unlucky against Manchester United. They should have won that game, but obviously Edinson Cavani, he's a world-class striker, believe it or not. We should have probably got him, but again, he's one of those players, he can turn a game in a switch, and that's what he did against Southampton. Southampton and they couldn't do much about him, and obviously they lost 3-2 in that game. But for Brighton, they actually managed to get a 1-1 draw at home to Liverpool, which was a good result for them in a game in which Liverpool actually took the lead through Jota after Mohamed Salah had a VAR goal disallowed, and Pascal Grob in the 90 plus third minute actually got an equaliser after Brighton actually missed a penalty earlier in the game. So I think Brighton should have got more out of that game in my opinion, but they are playing very well, obviously beating Aston Villa the week before. So I think going into this game, they will be going into this game with a lot of confidence against Southampton, but I think this will be a draw in my opinion. I think, you know, both teams are playing quite well at the moment, so I think this is an ingredient for a 1-1 draw in my opinion. So that is it for today's Premier League predictions. Obviously today we were a game short with the game being postponed, the Aston Villa game, so versus Newcastle, because apparently I think there was an outbreak in Newcastle's training ground, so they've not had enough time to train, so that's why the game has been called off. I'm not sure when we'll do a preview or when it'll be rescheduled, but we'll have a little preview to that game when it comes round. So if you have enjoyed this video, please hit a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.